Percy was waiting at a signal. Arthur puffed slowly into a siding. He had heavy wagons of fish.
Look out, Arthur!
Arthur's wheels spun as he raced straight into the buffers. The fish shot into the air. "Oh, no!" cried Arthur. Just then, Thomas chased through the junction.
"Sorry, Arthur," he gasped. "I have to keep up with the runaway car."
The runaway brand-new Hat Blue car raced on. Thomas puffed harder and harder. Ahead, there were works on the track. Thick mud was everywhere. Rosie had just left the washdown. Suddenly, she saw the runaway car racing towards her.
"Oh, no!" cried Rosie.
Rosie was covered in mud.
"Sorry, Rosie, can't stop," tooted Thomas, and he raced off.
The brand-new Hat Blue car sped towards a junction. Gordon was waiting with the bandstand. Then there was trouble.
"Oh, no!" cried Thomas.
Gordon was surprised. "I told you I'd get to the Sodor show first." And he puffed proudly away. Thomas puffed up to the haystack.
"Cinders and ashes," he cried. "I've lost the race, and now Sir Topham Hatt's brand new car won't be at the Sodor show on time."
Thomas felt terrible.
"I must go back to the docks for Rocky," he puffed.
Thomas pumped his pistons. Then he stopped.
"But I'm not strong enough to pull Rocky on my own," he wished.
Gordon puffed proudly back down the line. He had won the race and delivered the bandstand.
"Gordon," whistled Thomas, "I need your help."
Gordon could see that Thomas was very upset.
"Please, Gordon, would you go and collect Rocky? It needs a strong engine like you."
Gordon liked everyone to know he was strong. He also liked to help his friend Thomas. So Gordon raced to the docks. Gordon collected Rocky and steamed back as fast as he could. Thomas was very happy to see Gordon chuff up with Rocky. This time, Thomas waited patiently as Rocky lifted Sir Topham Hatt's car out of the haystack. Thomas wanted to thank his friend Gordon. "Gordon," he tooted, "would you like to deliver the car?" Gordon knew that delivering the brand new Hat Blue car was the most important job on the island. "Thank you, Thomas," he smiled to his friend. This time there was no race. The two friends arrived together at the Sodor show. Sir Topham and Lady Hat were very pleased to see their brand new Hat Blue car. Everyone clapped and cheered, and Thomas cheered loudest of all. All Sir Topham Hatt's engines looked different. Can you tell who this is? This engine has 3 big pairs of wheels, 6 small pairs of wheels, and a short, wide funnel. What else can you see on this engine? It's the number 4. Can you remember which of Sir Topham Hatt's engines is number 4? Here's another clue. This engine is a beautiful bright blue color. Only one engine has all those wheels, is blue, and wears number 4. Do you know who it is? That's right. It's Gordon. Hello, Gordon. Percy is ready to leave the station. He's busting his buffers with excitement. What's Percy pulling today? Percy pulls out of the station pulling passengers. Percy pulls out of the station pulling passengers and pineapples. Now Percy pulls out of the station pulling passengers, pineapples, and a piano. Can you remember what Percy is pulling? Percy pulls out of the station pulling passengers, pineapples, and a piano. I wonder what's next. Percy pulls out of the station pulling passengers, pineapples, a piano, and presents. Can you still remember all the things Percy was pulling? Let's see. Percy pulls out of the station pulling passengers, pineapples, a piano, and presents. Can you guess where Percy is going? Percy is puffing his way to a party. The island of Sodor is a wonderful place. It's home to lots and lots of engines. But where is Thomas puffing today? That's right, the narrow gauge railway. The narrow gauge engines live and work in the hills of Sodor. They are small engines. The narrow gauge engines work for Mr. Percival, the narrow gauge controller. He tells them if they are to shun slate, or pull coal wagons, or deliver supplies. They look after each other, especially if one of them is in trouble. And one day, Sir Handel was in trouble. Sir Handel is one of the oldest narrow gauge engines. Sir Handel had a special. He was to pull wagons of apples very carefully. But Sir Handel couldn't puff up the hill. His pistons popped. His traction rods rattled, and his boiler bubbled and bounced. Peter Sam came to Sir Handel's rescue. He pushed, and he puffed Sir Handel up the hill. Then Sir Handel had another special. This time it was wagons of sheep. Again, Sir Handel couldn't get up the hill. This time, Duncan chuffed to his rescue. But there was no one to help the time Mr. and Mrs. Percival were on board. The hill was steep. Sir Handel shuddered and juddered and stopped. The picnic hamper burst open. Sir Handel felt terrible. Now he was sure he would be sent to the scrapyards. But Sir Handel was wrong. Thomas brought a special engineer. Sir Handel was fixed in no time. All the engines liked to help each other. One day, Mr. Percival had an important job for Duncan and Rusty. But Duncan found a hidden track. He was supposed to be pulling coal trucks with Rusty. But he wanted to see where the track went. Rusty was cross. He told Duncan they had to work. But Duncan is a narrow gauge engine who likes adventures. Rusty chugged off. And Duncan chuffed off to have an adventure. He followed the old track into the side of a mountain. Duncan was excited. Then there was trouble. Duncan had biffed into a wooden beam. The roof fell in. and Duncan was trapped in the mine. But Duncan is also a smart engine. Slowly and carefully, he pushed behind some heavy wagons until, at last, he pushed the wagons out into the open air. And there was Rusty. Rusty had been worried about Duncan. And Duncan was very happy to see Rusty. Duncan still likes adventures, but he likes his narrow-gauge friends most of all. The engines of the narrow-gauge railway are very special. Thomas always enjoys his visits to see them. They may be smaller than he is, but they are just as useful. Percy, Diesel, and James all want to go to the washdown, but Emily is blocking their way. She will have to move before any of them can get there. Who do you think will get to the washdown first? Here comes James, but how will he get Emily to move? He's blowing his whistle at her as loudly as he can. That's not very kind. Emily doesn't move, so James can't get to the washdown. Now Diesel is going to try. What will he do to get Emily to move? Diesel is trying to shunt Emily out of the way. That's not very kind at all. And it isn't working. Emily has put on her brakes even harder. So Diesel can't get to the washdown either. Here comes Percy. What do you think he will do? Percy isn't whistling or trying to shunt Emily out of the way. He's asking her kindly, "Would you mind moving, please, Emily?" It's worked. Emily is moving into the siding. Percy will be first to the washdown, and all because he asked kindly. Thomas in trouble. It was a busy day for the engines on Sir Topham Hatt's railway. Gordon was taking passengers across the island. He felt magnificent. Henry was delivering logs to the lumber yards. He was right on time. Percy was pleased to be pulling mail cars. James was happily hauling flatbeds of paint. And Salty was carefully shunting wagons of fish at Brendam Docks. But Thomas and Emily were at the fitter's yard for repairs. "I can't wait to get back to work. I'm taking the school choir to their concert." Emily was ready to go. "Goodbye, Thomas," she whistled. "Good luck with your final inspection." "Thank you, Emily," tooted Thomas. Then James puffed in to deliver his paint. "Bust my boiler," he laughed. "You've broken down, Thomas." "No, I haven't," huffed Thomas. "You must have done," snorted James. "Otherwise, you wouldn't be at the fitter's yard. What a shame you're not a smart and useful engine like me." That made Thomas cross. Sir Topham Hatt arrived. "Thomas," boomed Sir Topham Hatt, "are you ready to take the school choir to their concert?" "Nearly ready, sir," puffed Thomas excitedly. "Nearly ready isn't good enough," said Sir Topham Hatt. Thomas didn't want anyone else to collect the school choir. Carrying children was his favorite job. So Thomas decided he would leave before his final inspection. "I'm ready now, sir," he puffed. and Thomas chuffed away to pick up Annie and Clarabelle. Thomas was puffing up the line. He began to make strange noises. Annie and Clarabelle knew something was wrong. Something's wrong, clackety-clong, clackety-clong. Something's wrong. But Thomas wasn't listening. The school choir cheered when they saw Thomas. All aboard! Chuffed Thomas cheerfully as he clankety-clonged into Knapford Station. Who is making that nasty noise? Wished Emily. Emily saw it was Thomas. Did you have your final inspection? Asked Emily. This made Thomas cross. I'm fine, he huffed, and he steamed away with the choir on board.